Good morning to the European audience in Europe, and good afternoon to those of you who are joining from Japan. I would like to welcome our esteemed speakers, and thank you for your time to join our webinar today. I'm Yuri Komador, country representative of Eurosas Japan. The main focus of this webinar is to highlight successful collaborative projects between EIG Concert Japan and Horizon Europe, including its predecessors in the European Union. The projects are introduced by the Japanese and European contributors who not only provide best practice examples, but also talk about international research cooperation and answer your questions live. Please make sure that you submit them in the Q&A box as opposed to sharing them in the chat. With that, I would like to introduce our first speaker, Nyenka Buisman, Head of Unit International Cooperation in DG Research and Innovation at the European Commission. She's joining us today through a video recording, which I would like to play to you today.
Good morning and good afternoon to all of you. It's an honor for me to open this webinar celebrating the EU-Japan cooperation under EIG Concert Japan and Horizon Europe. I'm unfortunately not able to join today's discussion, which promised to be very interesting, but would nevertheless like to share a few thoughts with you. First of all, I would like to stress how important is the EU-Japan cooperation in research and innovation in the current geopolitical context that carries many uncertainties. Japan and the EU are like-minded and stable partners, and when it comes to research and innovation, we share the same values and principles and also the same priorities, as all of us face the same challenges. Japan and the EU have been working closely together for a very long time. Our scientific and technological cooperation agreement dates back to 2011. And since then, we have seen growing cooperation between European and Japanese researchers, supported by a dedicated funding on each side, allowing for a coordinated and coherent collaborative research. EIG Concert Japan is, of course, one perfect example of this support, and so are other GST-funded programs such as Aspire or Strategic International Collaborative Research Program, to name a few. We can also think of the implementing arrangement between the European Research Council and AMET, the Japanese medical funding agency, for instance. This wide web of coordinated funding between EU framework programs and EU member states' national programs and Japanese national ones has allowed and will continue to help our research communities to grow closer. Today, the work carried out by EIG Concert Japan is more relevant than ever for the EU research community. With the current calls on climate mitigation and adaptation in marine environment, or previous ones focusing, for instance, on advancing agriculture sustainability with digital solutions, we can see that EIG Concert Japan prioritizes around the digital and green transition are perfectly aligned with the EU priorities Horizon Europe supports. And this alignment is also visible via the strong involvement of European funding institutions or the engagement of France in the secretariat of this program, and of course the wide participation from partners across the whole Europe and Japan. Our current framework program, Horizon Europe, is also a fantastic avenue for cooperation between the EU and Japan. It's by default open to the world, as we all know that open cooperation is essential to produce the best science and to find shared solutions to global challenges. You are probably aware of the current negotiations between the EU and Japan aiming at associating Japan to Horizon Europe. Association is the closest form of R&I cooperation in the program. It has been an element of the framework program for the past 30 years, but Horizon Europe brought a novelty with the possibility to associate to any country in the world beyond EU's geographic proximity, with a good basis in science, technology and innovation, and sharing key values and principles with the EU. So with our long-lasting mutual cooperation with Japan, it was only natural for the EU to propose Japan to associate. Our aim is for Japan to be associated from 2026 to allow Japanese entities to participate to the program on equal footing with entities from Europe and other associated countries, which means getting funded directly under the program, being able to lead projects, and having access to all calls. Even if association takes longer than expected, Japan is and of course will remain one of our key partners when it comes to R&I, and we want to see even more successful cooperation projects such as the one you will hear about today, and association would only bring our cooperation to the next level. With this, I would like to thank you for your attention and wish you a very fruitful and inspiring discussion today. Thank you.
Our gratitude to Jenke Boisman for the very kind introduction, and we would like to continue from the Japan side. The opening remarks will be delivered by Osamu Kobayashi, Director at the Department of International Affairs with the Japan Science and Technology Agency.
Thank you very much, Yudita-san, for your kind introduction. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Osamu Kobayashi, Director of the Department of International Affairs at the Japan Science and Technology Agency, JST. First and foremost, I'd like to extend a warm thank you to today's speakers, both from Japan and Europe, for joining us. Thank you for taking the time to share your experiences and insights on Japan-EU research cooperation. I truly appreciate your contributions. I'd also like to thank Judith-san from Euroaccess Japan for her continued support in co-organizing this webinar series. I really appreciate your time and dedication. Today's webinar focuses on JST's collaboration with our European partners, with a special spotlight on EIG Concert Japan, one of JST's flagship multilateral funding initiatives. This program brings together JST and 14 funding agencies from 12 European countries, all of whom share a strong interest in working with Japan to support joint research projects in areas of mutual interest and priorities. Originating from the EU's seventh framework program, FP7, EIG Concert Japan has long served as a platform to foster connections and promote scientific innovation between Japanese and European researchers. As we will see in today's presentations, some projects supported under Concert Japan have gone on to connect with the Horizon 2020 framework. While discussions are ongoing regarding Japan's potential association with Horizon Europe, we hope initiatives like Concert Japan will continue to serve as stepping stones toward broader and deeper EU-Japan cooperation. From individual collaborations to large-scale research network, we have seen many successful outcomes over the years in our collaboration. We hope today's webinar will offer practical examples and valuable perspectives for those interested in expanding international collaboration between Japan and Europe. Thank you again for joining us today, and I hope you enjoy today's webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kobayashi-san, for the very kind opening remarks. And my greatest gratitude to colleagues at JST for co-organizing this event, especially the next speaker, Kenta Takei, who is officer at the Department of International Affairs at the Japan Science and Technology Agency. Without his very proactive support, it would have been impossible to have today's event in front of you. He's going to talk about EIG Concert Japan and JST's cooperation with the EU.
Thank you so much, Judith-san, for your introduction, and I always support your cooperation with JST. Hello, everyone. My name is Kento Takei from the Department of International Affairs at Japan Science and Technology Agency. In my presentation, I'd like to briefly introduce GST and highlight our collaboration with European partners, focusing on Japan-EU collaboration program. Let me begin with a quick overview of GST. GST is a national research and development funding agency in Japan. We play a central role in implementing the government's science, technology, and innovation basic plan by executing various funding programs that align with national strategy of Japan. We have several funding agencies in Japan. GST is a mission-oriented funder, so we follow the government strategy and cover a wide range of research areas, from basic to early-stage industrial applications. However, medical research is handled by Japan Agency for Medical Research R&D, or AMET, shown at the top. On the other hand, research that is closer to commercialization, like industrial technology, is funded by NEDO, which operates under the Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry. These three agencies are all policy-driven and mission-oriented funders. At the bottom, we have JSPS, the only curiosity-driven funder in Japan. They support bottom-up research proposals. As I mentioned, JST is a funder, so more than 80% of our budget goes to research funding programs. But we also do more than just funding. For example, we support public engagement, operate information platform and database services, and also contribute to R&D strategy planning. Our research funding programs at GST can be broadly categorized into three types: strategic basic research, international collaboration, and industry academia collaboration and technology transfer programs. Today, I'd like to focus on one of our international collaboration programs called CyCorp and talk about how we collaborate with our counterparts in Europe. So CyCorp stands for the Strategic International Collaborative Research Program. This is GST's international joint research scheme that supports collaborative research projects based on inter-ministerial agreements with countries that are strategically prioritized by the Japanese government. CyCorp has an equal partnership model, so GST works closely with funding agencies in partner countries and regions. The types of collaboration under CyCorp are quite diverse. For example, in bilateral schemes, GST works with a single country's funding agency to launch a joint call. In multilateral schemes, GST and more than 2 funding agencies from a specific region, such as Europe, Asia, or Africa, come together to jointly support a research project. We also support the establishment and operation of overseas research hubs, and so on. In today's presentation, I will focus on our bilateral and multilateral cooperation schemes in the context of collaboration with European partners. So in typical cases, before we launch joint calls, there is government-level agreement between Japan's Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology, and the counterpart ministry of the partner country. This agreement defines the field in which both countries wish to collaborate. And then GST and the partner funding agency work together to design the details of the joint call, such as the scheme, such as the details of the research theme and support scale. And after the launch of the call and selection, each agency supports researchers within its own country. We had a collaboration with the EU in this scheme as well. And this slide shows past calls with the European Union. In case of collaboration with the Horizon 2020, it was not exactly a joint call, but GST have supported Japanese researchers who had a participation to the Horizon 2020 project. Now I'd like to introduce GST's multilateral collaboration framework called EIG Council Japan under the CyCorp. This program promotes scientific excellence that benefits society while also strengthening network and linkage between Japan and European countries. Council Japan was originally established in 2011 as part of an EU-funded ERA net project under the 7th Framework Program, FP7, as our director Kobayashi mentioned. Since then, GST and its European counterparts have continued this collaboration by jointly launching annual calls. One feature of Council Japan is its flexible and open membership structure. So every year, the program members agree on a research topic and launch a joint call. So what are some of the benefits of EIG Council Japan? It supports relatively low investment, but exploratory research areas. So these calls are opportunities for building new partnerships or exploring emerging topics. This helps Japanese and European researchers to get to know each other's research work and also build relationship and form network. In this sense, Council Japan serves as a stepping stone to help research teams move toward larger collaboration, such as those projects under Horizon Europe. In terms of scale, Council Japan is smaller, both in budget and duration, compared to other larger initiatives, such as Horizon Europe. Council Japan research teams are decided annually by its members through mutual agreements. Horizon Europe follows strategic priorities that is set by the European Commission, covering broad fields, as you might already know. As for the consortium structure, Council Japan requires participation from Japan and at least 2 European countries. By the way, in terms of Japan's participation under Horizon Europe, Japanese researchers must secure external funding in order to participate in this Horizon Europe consortium. Even though there is no direct connection between EIG Council Japan and Horizon Europe, we hope that by starting with Council Japan, researchers in Japan and the partner country can gain some experience and form a network that will eventually lead to participation in larger scale initiatives, including, of course, Horizon Europe. So let me now explain a few more details on how EIG Council Japan is operated. Calls for proposals are launched every year, and they typically focus on research topics that reflect mutual interest among the participating members. And as I mentioned, the project consortium must be composed of a Japanese team and teams of at least 2 participating European countries. Submitted proposals undergo an independent peer review, followed by evaluation by a scientific committee. The program uses a virtual common pots funding method. It means that each funding agency participating in a call supports the researchers from its own country. And each call, up to 6 projects are typically funded, depending on the number of participation and also available budgets. Throughout my presentation, I've been mentioning the word the program members. This is a member organization of EIG Council Japan. As of now, there are 15 funding agencies and from 13 countries, including Japan and European countries. And this slide shows the past calls for proposals launched under Council Japan. And as you can see, the topics are quite diverse, ranging from energy to resilience, bioresources, water management, and robotics, and many other areas, as you can see in this table. It's also important to mention here that not all program members participate in every call. Participation varies depending on the topic and the national priority of each country. Now I'd like to share some timely information. The call for proposals for fiscal year 2025 is now open in the field of oceans, climate change mitigation, and adaptation. The participating countries in this call are Bulgaria, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Estonia, France, Germany, Hungary, Italy, Japan, Poland, Slovakia, Spain, and Turkey. The call will close on July 22nd, 2025. So if you are researchers in Japan or one of these countries who are interested in strengthening Japan-EU cooperation, please consider using this opportunity to build and enhance your research network. Finally, I'd like to introduce our speakers today. First, we have Professor Kiyoharu Tatanaga from Hokkaido University and his collaborator, Dr. Mario Aparicio from CSIC in Spain. They worked together on a Council Japan project in the field of efficient energy storage and distribution, and then continued their partnership under an Horizon 2020 project that focus on air carbon recycling for aviation fuel. Our second pair of speakers is Professor Yoshihiro Kangawa from Kyushu University and Dr. Veselin Tonchev from Sofia University in Bulgaria. Professor Kangawa was previously part of an Horizon 2020 project, and he is now participating in a Consul Japan project until this fiscal year 2025 in the field of design of materials with atomic precision. Dr. Tonchev is a principal investigator from Bulgaria in this Consul Japan project. I would like to thank all speakers for joining us today. We are very much looking forward to hearing about your experiences in these projects. That's all from myself. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Take-san, for the very extensive presentation about the EIG Concert Japan project, funding opportunity, and the collaboration with Horizon 2020. The upcoming speakers have been introduced, so let me just call upon Professor Kiyoharu Tadanaga and his counterpart Mario Aparicio, who is joining us via a video, as I understand. Professor Tadanaga, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for your introduction. I believe that my screen is shared. Okay?
Yes, it's looking perfect.
All right, okay. So today, I'd like to explain about the two topics. One is the Consult Japan from 2018 to 2021, and also a Horizon 2020 project from 2021 to 2024. So this is the outline of today's my talk. So we'd like to start before Consult Japan. So Dr. Mario Aparicio will explain how we started before the Consult Japan project. So then by video, and then I will explain about the Consult Japan and also Horizon 2020 project. And I just briefly summarized our presentation. So I'd like to start from the before Consult Japan. So Dr. Mario Aparicio from Spain will explain the situation before Consult Japan. So, okay.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mario Aparicio. I'm from the Ceramic and Glass Institute of CSIC. That's the Spanish National Research Council in Madrid, Spain. First, I would like to thank you for inviting me to this event. Unfortunately, I was unable to assist, so I prepared a recording to give to my colleague Professor Tadanaga in order to show you. I met Professor Tadanaga a long time ago, about 25 years ago. We usually met in conference like the International Soil Society, and in this conference we discuss about our results in similar topic like fuel cells or soil coatings. So then in 2008 a call for collaborative project between Spain and Japan was launched. Both teams prepared a proposal, and unfortunately was selected for this kind of call. The project was the development of new electrolyte and electrode materials for all solid-state thin-film lithium batteries, so through a solution process. The Japanese teams was led by Professor Masahiro Tatsumisago and Professor Kiyoharu Tadanaga from Applied Chemistry in Osaka Prefecture University, and myself from the Ceramic and Glass Institute. The objectives of these projects were the development of lithium-ion microbatteries with a maximum thickness of around 10 micrometers. The objectives include the development of thin-film electrode for this kind of microbatteries and solid electrode. We both teams work in different kind of composition. For example, for the anode in lithium titanium oxide, and for the cathode about lithium manganese oxide. In solid electrolytes, we work in hybrid organic organic inorganic solid electrolyte, and also pure inorganic electrolyte like this one. So finally, we reach our objective of obtain the lithium-ion micro battery of around 10 micrometers using the material developed for both teams. We have a lot of meeting along the project, and this, for example, and these are two photographs of the first meeting, one in Madrid and the second one in Osaka. So this is all, and thank you very much for your kind of attention.
Okay, so we'd like to move on to the second topic. So CONSAT Japan. The title is a novel carbon-free cathode materials for metal air rechargeable batteries. So as previously explained by Dr. Maria Aparicio, we met around early 2000s, and then we started collaboration with strategic Japanese-Spanish corporate program supported by JST and Spanish Ministry of Science and Innovation from Finance 2009 for 3 years. Then, in fact, I moved, at that time I was in Osaka Prefecture University, but I moved to the Hokkaido University in 2013. Then at that time, I accepted Dr. Natalie Rosen Navarro, who finished her PhD at the CSIC with supervision of the Dr. Mario as a JSPS postdoctoral researcher from the 2013. And then Dr. Rosen Navarro was appointed as assistant professor at Hokkaido University from 2016. Then Dr. Aparicio proposed me to apply the EIG CONSAT Japan program call for this 2018. So at that time, efficient energy storage and distribution. Then this collaboration between I and with Dr. Rosen Navarro at that time in our lab, and Dr. Aparicio CSIC, and 2 other groups, France and Turkey, was selected as this program. So topic was metal air batteries. So a partner is something like this. So Hokkaido University team and Dr. Mario Aparicio team in CSIC, in fact, studied about the zinc air battery or basically zinc air battery or fuel cells about in the aqueous solution system. So in the zinc air battery, in fact, oxygen evolution reaction or oxygen reduction reaction happen in the electrode materials. So we study such kind of the so-called electrocatalyst. Then Dr. Mario tried to find the partner about the lithium air battery partner. Then a researcher from Turkey, so Dr. Tugul-san, and also Dr. Alejandro Franco from France, they are studying the lithium metal air battery. So by combining the lithium air battery team and zinc air battery team, we propose the novel carbon-free cathode material for metal air recharge batteries at that time. So basically, topic is something about the in the air batteries. In fact, anyway, oxygen is used for charge and discharge reaction. And then when we use the carbon as the electrode materials, carbon is somehow destroyed during the charge and discharge cycles. So we try to replace this carbon material to other materials, this project. So for example, so we try, in Japan, we develop nitride, metal nitride materials, and Spain also nitride or carbide materials. And Turkish group, Sakarya University, developed oxide. And then the France group proposed the design and control of the pore structure in the cathode structure. So, and basically, Japanese team and Spanish team study about the aqueous electrolysis system, and Turkey and France team study about the non-aqueous electrolyte. and they are basically lithium air battery, and we are basically studied about zinc air battery. But we have so many collaboration, try to collaborate in this matter, but problem is that this is the third year in the 2020 was the COVID-19 period. So we, in fact, extended 1 year to the 2021. But anyway, we developed the, for example, this is one example of the battery we developed. So by using our material, that is from, for example, cathode materials from our Hokkaido University, and cathode, some catalyst materials for the Turkey, and then we use something from the C6, then we check the charge and discharge behavior by using this kind of material. So this is something about the Consult Japan project we did during the 2018 to 2021. So then I'd like to move on to the Horizon 2020 project. So that is topic is air carbon recycling for aviation fuel technology, we say for aircraft. The story is very long, but anyway, I'd like to explain. So Dr. Vanessa Gill, she is the project coordinator of this project, organized EU-side consortium to apply for the JST Horizon project. But they faced significant difficulty in finding the Japanese partner for the electrochemical CO2 reduction topic. But Vanessa Gill and finished her PhD in fact, ICBC and Dr. Joseph Navarro also same under the same institute, so they know each other. Then Vanessa asked Dr. Joseph Navarro for help in finding a partner in Japan, but finding a suitable expert in Japan was very difficult. Then that's July 2020, after the COVID-19, anyway, they invited Roger Navarro and I to join the JST Horizon project application. And deadline is August, so just 2 months before the deadline. Even though we have no priori experience about the CO2 reduction reaction electrochemical catalyst. We only have the experience about the electrocatalyst for oxygen reduction or oxygen evaporation reaction, but we have never studied about electrochemical CO2 reaction. But anyway, electrocatalyst, so they asked us to join this project. So we decided to collaborate with other members with this application, and also Dr. Mario Group also included this project to bridge the collaboration between EU side and Japan. Anyway, after that, Dr. Robert Navarro moved to the Dr. Mario's group in ICBC in 2020. So I just briefly explained this our Horizon 2020 project. So this call is a cycle biofuel call or other fuel material. So in fact, we are not studied not so much about the biofuel, but we are studied about the making a fuel from the carbon dioxide. So this is the our target. So this is outline, and then the partner is something like this. So hydrogen. So this is the foundation for new technology for hydrogen in Aragon. So this is the coordinator of the project, and Helsinki University is something about the nano catalyst. So they developed the catalyst from the carbon monoxide and hydrogen to fuel them. And University of Belfield studied about the enzymes, so biocatalysts, to produce the hydrocarbon with longer chains. Basque Center for Material Studies about the MOM, metal organic framework. So that is also something about the catalyst. Torino University supports the characterization and studies about the mechanical study of the reaction mechanism And this group, CSIC, is studied about finally the reactor. And Antwerpen studies the TEM or analysis. And Sao Paulo is the support for development of the nanocatalyst from Finland. So this is the distribution. So this is our study. So we try to convert CO2 to carbon monoxide. This is Hokkaido, our university part. And then the Helsinki or Sao Paulo team try to produce the hydrocarbon from CO2 hydrogen with a rather mild condition. Important point, rather mild condition. And then the Germany group, Belfeld group, tried to produce this kind of hexane, for example, from the enzyme catalyst. And then we convert this material to very long hydrocarbon for jet fuel. So, but target was below 80 degrees Celsius. But in fact, that was a very difficult one. So in Hokkaido University, we developed the electrocatalyst based on the layer double hydroxide. And then we found that, for example, zinc aluminum LDHs work as an electrocatalyst for converting CO2 to carbon monoxide. So this is anyway something about our project. So the COVID, anyway, we started this horizon, for example, under the COVID-19 pandemic period. So then this pandemic caused significant challenges for fostering the Japan-European collaborative research. However, anyway, this period, I feel that this period also allowed us to master the online meeting tool, something like this, Zoom, and file sharing platform like Teams or SharePoint. So which has subsequently made collaboration much easier. But on the other hand, we strongly believe that in-person meeting and student visit at the partner institutions are crucial for both advancing research and helping the growth of young researchers, scientists. Thus, it is incredibly helpful when the collaborative project, this kind of things, support this activity. So I sincerely hope that many joint research programs between EU and Japan will continue to be carried out in the future, fostering further research progress and enhancing researcher exchange and development. So thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Tadanaga, for the very interesting presentation, and also your colleague, Professor Aparicio. We will hear more about your project, doubtless, during the Q&A session. And with this, I would like to encourage the attendees to submit their queries in the Q&A box, signaling who the query is directed to. So please submit your questions in the Q&A box, and Professor Tadanaga will be answering them during the Q&A session a bit later. We are going to move ahead with the next project. The next two speakers are Professor Yoshihiro Kangawa from the Japan side and Professor Veselin Tonchev from the European side, from Bulgaria. Dear professors, please proceed.
Thank you for your kind introduction. Can you see my slides?
Yes, it's looking perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So I would like to introduce how to start the international joint research. So today I do not talk about the detail of our research topics, but I would like to focus on how to start the international collaborations. So I now manage the atomic level control organ heterointerface for DVB LED project under the EIG Concept Japan. And first, I'd like to introduce myself. This is Yoshihiro Kangawa speaking, and I belong to Kyushu University. I graduated Kyushu University in 2000, and after I graduated the Kyushu University, And since the beginning of my research career, I have dedicated myself to understanding semiconductor epitaxy. In 2013, I visited Fraunhofer Institutes in Germany as a guest scientist. The host researcher was Dr. Elke Meissner. After that, they prepared the proposal to the Horizon 2020 program, power electronics categories. And she invited me and Professor Miyake to her group, material on the epitaxy in this project. In this project, we fabricated and developed how to fabricate high quality, low dislocation argon template. And we provided this template to other teams who they developed power devices. Based on this achievement, I inspired the next new research topics for EIG Consult Japan. The EIG Consult Japan is more fundamental or more scientific rather than industrial R&D. So I invited Professor Veselin Tonchev to this project. And I have already collaborated with him under the RIAM International Joint Research Program in 2016. And also, I invited Professor Pavel Kempesty of the Institute of High Pressure Physics Poland. And he was spent in my lab as a designated assistant professor under the Nagoya University programs. Okay. Based on these researchers, I constructed the research structure and applied to the EIG Consult Japan program. Okay, this view graph shows the introduction, background, and purpose of our project. Maybe you can see it's light about 260 wavelengths absorbed by the RNA and DNA of COVID-19 viruses and bacteria. The final goal of our project is to fabricate the high luminous deep UV LED, which kills bacteria and viruses. To enhance the LED luminescence, we have to fabricate the atomically flat surface and interfaces. You can see some helix and such kind of meandering atomic steps. So we have to control such kind of surface morphologies. So I mean to enhance the quantum efficiency of deep UV LEDs, we have to fabricate atomically flat surface and interface. Okay. So in our project, we developed digital twins or simulators to produce such kind of surface morphologies. Okay. First, we analyze the physical parameters related to the surface, and interfaces, and then provide these parameters to the work package 2. Due to the time limitation of today's presentation, I would like to focus on the collaboration between the WP1 and WP2. Okay. First, the WP1 group analyze parameters like this. this schematic shows surface steps like this. And we have to analyze and obtain the migration potential near the step edges. We especially focusing on the shape of the early hit barriers like this near the step edges. These are the obtained parameters, and we can see only potential well here, but there are no early hit barriers like this. Okay, so I pass this information to the WP2. From here, the Professor Veselin Tonchev take overs. So I pass the Tonchev Sensei, could you share your slides?
Thank you first to Professor Kangawa Sensei, for just passing me the floor and for everything up to now and in the future. So I will continue. The name of the project is the same, the title, and I'm now faculty in the Faculty of Physics of Sofia University, and you will see the names of the other members of our work package later. I was working for 30 years in the Institute of Physical Chemistry of Kishinev of the Bulgarian Academy of Sciences, and then in 2017 I moved to the Sofia University. And here is what I believe in, that the modeling is the cheaper and sometimes the only way to study and understand the nature. Imagine only the massive nuclear war. You cannot have experiments in this field. So what remains are only the models. My journeys to the East, and here the allusion with a novel of Hesse is obvious. My journeys to the East started earlier, in 2003. I was invited research professor in the entity basic research labs in Honatsugi in Kanagawa. And here is a photo of the coffee room there where Hiro Omi, Toshio Ogino, Stoyan Stoyanov, Yoshikazu Homo and me are sitting for coffee and discussions. I visited Noriko Akutsu Sensei at that period in 2000, and then thanks to the RIAM projects also in 2016, and she visited me in the meanwhile in 2013. So here is the photo of Professor Rostislav Kishinev. I also visited Yokohama and we had discussion, all-day discussion with Yukio Saito, who wrote this book, Statistical Physics of Crystal Growth. Before that, Hiromi visited me in Clermont-Ferrand, and there we collaborated with Joachim Isbach, Olivier Pierre-Louis, Alberto Pimpinelli, who wrote the book Physics of Crystal Growth with Jacques Villain. I also spent several times on different visiting positions in the Institute of Physics of Polish Academy of Sciences in Warsaw. So here are Filip Krzyzewski, Magda Załuszka-Kotor, and Marcin Minkowski. And maybe the most important output of our activities, because we have a lot of activities within the project, is this paper that is published by Marta Szabłowska, Christina Popova, and Magdalena Załuszka-Kotor recently. And this is about the step meandering. I would say that this is about step meandering due to the potential well that Kangawa Sensei have shown in his slides. And this is subject to further development. I mean, this will not remain without consequences. There is a lot of research in this field. And in this study and two other studies, I would call them satellite ones. Magda Zauschka-Kotur, Marta Schabowska, and Christina Popova study different types of meandering, as you see here, due to both Ehrlich-Schobel effect and without Ehrlich-Schobel effect to the potential oil at the step. So because atoms are better connected at the step, this means that there is here this place there, this site is more favorable than on the terrace. And also with Vasil Ivanov, who is in the Faculty of Mathematics and Informatics in Sofia University, we started studying models of crystallization, and there we also draw a wide perspective on the processes of crystallization and aggregation in the introductory part as a concept. So also there we will have further developments. Vasil himself published recently a single author paper about the analytical properties of Stoyanov. Stoyanov was shown in the beginning. Let me just say that some of the people shown here are not anymore among the living, so may God rest their souls. Thank you, and domo arigatou gozaimashita. What I would like to finish with is another sentence. As in the beginning, aggregation is young and crystallization is in, and we will try to convince you in our further studies. And there is third type of journeys I had, journeys to the roots. Here we are participating with Magda Zauschka-Kotur in protests in Warsaw in 2016, here in Sofia in 2013, and this is Ivan Markov, who authored this famous book, Crystal Growth for Beginners. And here are protests against one of the calls of Bulgarian National Science Fund. So thank you for the attention. I hope I was brief enough.
Thank you very much for the very interesting presentation outlining your project and how you struck contact with the Japanese counterparts. I would like to invite our speakers to rejoin us and take the questions. There are some waiting in the Q&A box. There will be more, I hope. The first question is addressed to basically everyone who participated in projects. Did you have some troubles to apply for the EIG concert program? Who would like to answer that question?
Anyway, I start firstly, okay? Yeah, so when I applying, we had to prepare both English version and Japanese version. So that is some trouble for us to match the contents. So same, should be same. And also in Japan, this kind of the proposal is not directly linked to the PhD course student work, for example. But usually, I believe that in European side, it tends to be connected to the PhD student research. So we have to care about this kind of thing. So when we think about the proposal, this kind of things is some difficulty to arrange the proposal. So this is my impression.
Thank you very much. Anyone else would like to add to that? If not, then we are going to go ahead with the second question. Roughly, what's the success rate of the EIG concert program?
So I'd like to answer that question. Looking at the last 5 years course of proposal, the average would be from 30 to 40%. For example, in last year's proposal, it was on digital transformation and robotics in sustainable agriculture. We had one of the highest applications in this call. There were 29 applications, and out of that, 6 were selected. But overall, the average would be from 30 to 40%. Yeah.
Thank you for the very specific answer. And let us go ahead with the third query. What was the most difficult aspect of forming an international team, and how did you overcome such difficulties, if any? Who would like to answer that question? Professors who participated in the projects, maybe? If there are no takers, it basically means that there were absolutely no difficulties.
No. So
Yeah.
I will answer that. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I say about, for example, Horizon 2020. That is under the COVID-19. So in fact, I never met most of the team people. So it takes. But we had an online meeting every week for each time 2 or 3 hours. So we made so many discussion about the proposal. So every week but at that time, that under COVID-19, we have not so many things to do. So such kind of discussion, only the discussion is how we arrange it. This kind is important to know each other, but finding anyway research is another problem. So finding, especially probably European side, feel that some difficulty to find the Japanese researcher because we already, for example, doing some other projects in this topic, then it's rather difficult to collaborate with the European people. So that is sometimes difficult to find people. So that is so I explained before, we are not we did not study at that time about the CO2 electrochemical reduction, but slightly different area. So we started this project because of the proposal from the European side. So how you can find such kind of people is probably important. So that is my answer.
Thank you. Thank you. Anything to add to that, Professor Kangawa?
Okay. So we are using the natural materials, and natural semiconductors are materials that are subject to economic security measures. So it is difficult to issue the joint research agreements. So maybe the next people says how to construct how is legal framework international collaboration or something. So in my university, there are the International Legal Affairs Office, and they support and helping us conclude this international joint research agreements. So this is very helpful for us, and also that this is very important and difficult for the researchers to do such kind of things. So maybe the most difficult thing is how to conclude the international joint research agreements or something.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let me just ask, to read the question that you refer to. How is the legal framework of international collaboration, how each side protects its own intellectual property rights? It's a very complex question, and indeed harmonizing the legal framework is one of the most challenging.
Yes, I'd like to add on that. So this is not particular case with EIG in Constant Japan, and I think this is the typical for other international collaboration programs. But before researchers start the actual research project, we asked the Japanese team and team in counterpart country to sign the CRA, the Collaborative Research Agreement, and to settle this matter before they start this program.
Thank you. We shall go ahead with the next query. How did you learn about EIG concept, and what was the biggest motivation to apply for the project? How did you hear about the EIG concept funding opportunity, project collaboration opportunity, and what was the motivation?
Okay, so in my case, the Japanese team, in our Japanese team, focusing on the applied physics, and we fabricate and develop the LED devices. And in the European community, they measure pure science. And maybe it is very important to collaborate with applied scientists and pure scientists from Japan and Europe is very important to fabricate new devices.
Absolutely.
So it is very motivated for us to collaborate with European community, scientific communities. Do you have any comments, Tonchak Sensei?
Yeah, that's I just wanted to say that it is true. I mean, this is one of the drivers for collaboration. If different groups are having different focuses, so if they are able to find a common language, if they are able to look in the same direction, not to look in each other's eyes, then good things could be found. And this is, I mean, this is one of the examples with the step meandering due to the potential well that was actually that came from as a challenge from the experiments, from people that are doing experiments and trying to explain them. And also, just to say one more sentence about how I understood, I am following this news from our fund, and I saw there, but I didn't have the initiative. So the initiative is fully due to Kangawa Sensei, and I would like to thank him again.
Thank you. Thank you. What stage of research is perfect for this application? Basic research or applied research, or both okay, is the next question on the list.
Yeah, so let me answer the question. Thank you for a wonderful question. The answer would be we support from basic to the near application side. I think I showed a slide of each funder, where each funder is located in the SDI framework of Japan. JST covers from basic research to the initial phase application. In case of Constant Japan as well, it aligns with this TRL. So we cover a wide range of TRL from basic to application side projects.
Thank you for the response. Any other questions that you may have from the audience side? We still have a few minutes for the questions.
If I may, I'd like to ask the three speakers. So in concert-driven projects, how often did you hold scientific gatherings or workshops to discuss the progress of the research project?
So I start first. I answer first. Okay. At that time, so in fact, we did the 2018, 19, 20 to 21. So then at that time, we have only the Skype at the time, for example. Now we Skype disappeared. But anyway, so that is online meeting was not so common at that time. So then we had only the twice a year meeting so one is in Japan, one is, for example, European side before the COVID-19. So that is just we had in the face-to-face meeting. And then the other things is just exchange of email at that time. But Horizon 2020 is a different situation after COVID-19. So we have the, for example, work package meeting for every 2 or 3 months. And then the whole meeting with the other team in the half a year. So many meetings during the online meeting, basically. And only one or twice total meeting in face-to-face meeting in Europe. So not in Japan, only once in Japan, probably. So that is the situation.
Thank you.
In our case, the face-to-face meeting will be once a year. Okay, and after that, and we have some other online meetings so many times during the face-to-face meeting. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. We still have two open questions. The first, what are the criteria for selecting the applications to fund?
Yes, thank you so much for this question. The criteria is actually speculate like clearly written on the core text. There are three criteria for this EIG in Concern Japan. One is scientific excellence. If the research itself is has quality and also clear objectives, and also the impact of the project results, whether the impact has they have a significant impact to the scientific community. And also the implementation, whether it has the quality and effectiveness of the methodology or the feasibility of the research project. So these are three criteria are the criteria for this program.
Thank you for the answer. And the last question is it mandatory for each side of researchers to come and go? I'm guessing it's the mobility part of the project that the person is asking about.
Can I have a few seconds about this?
Sure. Questions can also be answered at a later date. So if you still have some queries, please type them in the Q&A box and you can receive an answer by email.
Okay.
Sorry, I just came back. We wouldn't say that it is a must. It is not mandatory, but it is really, really encouraged that there is an exchange of research talents between Japan and European countries, because this is one of the objectives of this program itself.
Okay, so in my case, anyway, I myself, so in the horizon for 2020, we have so many partners. So I just visited probably 5 partners during the 4 years. And about the Concert Japan, so we have the 3 partners in Europe side. But because of COVID-19, I cannot visit the Turkish partner at that time. But a Turkish partner and French partner, so Spanish partner visited Japan 2019 to have a meeting and symposium at that time. So basically, such kind of moving is very important. I feel that is very important for us to continue to do the such kind of the joint research program. So that is my feeling. Thank you.
If I have a few more minutes, or the time is already gone.
If you have a brief comment, we can definitely.
Yes, I have this comment that Concert Japan is for financing not big projects. Big projects are within other programs like Horizon 2020, and they have calls for millions of euro. So when you have calls for millions of euro, the conditions are very tough, and you should write risk mitigation and things like that. While here, it is really like that, to focus on fundamental problems that are coming from application side. This is my viewpoint.
Thank you for the additional info and comment on that. I'm afraid we have run out of time for the Q&A. And with this, I would like to thank our speakers and move on to the closing remarks, which will be delivered by Natsuko Deguchi, Counselor at the Science, Technology and Education section at the Mission of Japan to the European Union. Ms. Deguchi, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Majao, for the kind introduction. To all participants, thank you very much for joining today's webinar on EIG Consult Japan and Horizon Europe, Japan-EU Collaborative Research. My name is Natsuko Deguchi, and I'm in charge of Science and Technology Cooperation as the mission of Japan to the EU. So on behalf of the mission, I'm honored to offer a few closing remarks. At today's event, I was very pleased to see fruitful outcomes of Japan-EU international research collaboration in fields such as energy, environment, life science, and materials and digital, being shared through the presentations of successful case studies by participants from Japan and European countries, and followed by active discussions. Having overcome the difficulty of conducting research during the COVID-19 pandemic and experienced the convenience of online meetings, but we all came to recognize, especially for early career researchers, the importance of in-person, face-to-face interactions. So thank you again, Professor Tadanaga, Dr. Aparicio, Professor Kanagawa, Professor Tonchev. So, and the origins of EIG Consult Japan trace back to the ERA net, which started in 2011, as you know. The same year, the Japan-EU Science and Technology Cooperation Agreement came into effect. This long-standing collaboration has now continued for over 15 years. Now, currently, a new call for proposals in the field of oceans, climate change mitigation, and adaptation is open until July 22nd. The researchers in these fields are strongly recognized to consider applying. In this way, the importance of both Japan-EU and broader international research collaboration countries to grow. International research collaboration continues to grow. The Japanese government launched the J-RISE initiative, JRISE, Japan Research and Innovation for Scientific Excellence, last week. This initiative aims to fundamentally improve Japan's research environment and further promote international collaboration. Furthermore, as explained by Ms. Weissman, head of unit, negotiations are currently underway regarding Japan's association with Horizon Europe. The EU, like-minded partner, is one of Japan's most important partners, and we strongly look forward to more researchers and stakeholders connecting through the frameworks of EIG Consult Japan and Horizon Europe. Once again, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all the speakers, participants, and those who have worked hard to organize this event, especially Dr. Majal. I hope our discussions and cooperation will continue to deepen and progress. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Councillor Deguchi, for the very kind words and for joining us today. And with that, we would like to close our event, expressing our gratitude to colleagues at the Japan Science and Technology Agency, especially Kenta Takei, who has been instrumental in organizing this event. All our kind speakers who have contributed their time to join us, and the attendees who are from Europe and all over the world, including Japan. Thank you for this opportunity to present the projects, and we would like to invite you to follow us on Twitter, which is X at the moment, Facebook, LinkedIn, and check out our portal. We'll have a Horizon Europe work program event in 2 days' time at the Europa House here in Tokyo at the delegation of the European Union to Japan. Please join us either online or on site. Thank you for your time, and with that, we'd like to say goodbye.
どうもありがとうございました。